Hello viewers, you're watching my biology channel BioHub. I welcome you all in my channel. Dear friends, while I was covering topics from biology chapters of 7th standard, some of my subscribers asked me to cover topics of 8th standard too. So here am I. On the outset, let me introduce myself. I am Dr. Seema Sharma. I have created this channel BioHub. On my channel, you will come across videos on biology part of class 7, and today I'm starting with biology part of class 8 also, and my each video is focused on complete understanding of the concept. In my videos I have tried to make the things simple, interesting and easy to understand. I'm confident that my viewers shall benefit from this channel, and I also recommend that you should subscribe to my channel to maintain continuity in learning. On this note, let's move on to the first chapter of Class 8, Crop Production and Management. Crop Production and Management. In this chapter, you will come to know about the contribution of farmer as well as the agriculture scientist in increasing the crop production or the yield of the crops. And this chapter will also enable you to know about the journey of the seed from the soil to the consumer level. We can divide this chapter in basic 5 parts. First part is agriculture. In this, we are going to explore about the meaning of agriculture, its history and importance. Second segment is methods of crop production. Here we will slip into farmer's shoes and we will follow him in the field virtually to know about the various steps which are involved in the process of growing of crops. Third segment is equally interesting, and here you will come to know about the contribution of agriculture scientists in increasing the crop yield. Second last segment or the fourth segment is nitrogen cycle and certain terms related to this nitrogen cycle. And here you will get a glimpse of one set of bacteria which are also contributing in enhancing the crop productivity. And lastly, segment 5, food from animals, you will come to know what a variety of animals and the animal products. As today it's our introductory part of this chapter, so we are going to explore first segment of this chapter, agriculture, its meaning, history, crops and its types. And for that, I want to take you to the learning objectives of this video. Students, there are two learning objectives of this video. First one is we are going to explore the meaning of this term agriculture, its history and importance. Second learning objective of this video is we are going to know about the basic classification of crops. So now we are proceeding viewers and taking up the first part. In this segment, we are going to cover the meaning, history and importance of agriculture. You know that India is an agricultural country and around 60% of the people of our country, they are dependent on agriculture for their livelihood. Let's decode the meaning of this term agriculture. It is that branch of science which deals with both growing of the crops and rearing of animals for human use. So, agriculture is a very systematic and planned branch of science, and it deals with two things, growing of crops as well as rearing of animals for human use. Let's have a glimpse of its brief history. Till 10,000 BC, early men were nomadic. Nomadic means the one who moves from one place to another in search of food, in search of shelter. So they were moving from one place to another. They were eating whatever was coming on their way, whether they are plants or animals. So the domestication of plants means growing of plants which are edible, which can be eaten. It started around 9500 BC. And it was the time when that food gatherer or the nomad, the early man, gradually transformed to food producer or the farmer. And now this farmer is growing a variety of crops and taking care of the food requirements of all of us. And agriculture is playing a very important role in overall economic growth of each and every country. So let's move on to see what is the importance of agriculture. Agriculture means growing of plants and rearing of animals for human need. It is meeting the food requirement of growing population throughout the globe. It is also increasing the national income. This agriculture is playing a very crucial role in international trade. It is generating employment opportunities for a large number of people, and it is also providing raw material to a large number of industries. So this is the importance of agriculture. So viewers, we discussed about agriculture. There we decoded the meaning of this term. Then we had a glimpse of brief history of agriculture, where there we came to know about the contribution of farmer. We just discussed about the importance of agriculture, and we realized that this agriculture has a very vital role as far as the economic growth of any country is concerned. So now we are moving to the second objective of today's video, classification of crops. So before knowing about the classification of crops, I want my students to know about the meaning of crop. When a large number of plants are grown at same place, field or area for food, those plants are called as crop. Let me simplify it a little further. If I'm growing wheat plants in flower pots, it will not be a crop. If I'm growing wheat plants in small area almost equal to your classroom, it will not be a crop. But when I will grow wheat plants in the entire school campus, whether it's a bigger area, so that time I'll say it's my wheat crop. So when a large number of plants are grown in the same place, field or area for food, that is called crop. Another term we use, cereal crop. I'm not talking about TV serials. Spelling is different. Cereal. Cereals are tall grasses which are cultivated as crop for their nutritious seeds or food grains. And few examples are paddy, that is rice, wheat, and maize. This is a picture of maize, and maize is also one of the cereal crops. So now the meaning of crop, the meaning of cereal crop is clear to my viewers. But students, farmer is not only growing cereal crops, farmer is growing a variety of crops. This is the glimpse of common crops grown by farmer in India, and it includes a variety of crops right from cereals to timber. So this is about the different types of crops. So let's proceed further and focus on the classification of crops. So basically, we can divide crops into classes based on purpose and based on season. So when we are looking at classification of crops based on purpose, means whether the farmer is growing those crops for his or her own consumption, or the farmer is going to sell it in the market to get profit. So if the farmer is growing the crop for his or her own consumption, that category is subsistence. But if the farmer is growing the crop to sell in the market and to get profit, then we have two more subtypes, and they are called cash crops and plantation crops. See, so this was on the basis of purpose. The second category is on the basis of season. So we have crops on the basis of season also, and they're of two types, kharif crops and rabi crops. So this is the journal classification of crops, and we have to study about these subtypes in little more detail. So for that, first I'm taking the crops based on purpose. So purpose based crops means जहां पे हमारा क्रॉप को उगाने का कोई पर्पस है. So purpose क्या है? The first is, the only category is subsistence crop. These are those crops which are grown by small farmers for their own consumption only. These crops are not for selling or earning profit. So when the small scale farmer is growing the crops in his field and the farmer is using it for own consumption only, then we'll say it's subsistence for sell. But the farmer is also growing crops for selling. So let's see what all is there in that. That is second category. And in that we have first subpart is cash crop. A cash crop or profit crop is an agriculture crop that is grown to sell profit. Cash crop acts clear from the term itself that it is grown to sell and to get profit. So a cash crop or profit crop is an agricultural crop which is grown to sell for profit. All type of crops which are grown to be sold in the market fall under this category, and it can be wheat, paddy, sugarcane, or any other. So what are cash crops? Those crops which are grown by either small or large scale farmer to sell in the market to get profit. Now next subtype is plantation crop. So before proceeding with the meaning of plantation crop, let me clear the meaning of this term plantation. What is plantation? A plantation is the large scale estate meant for growing on one type of crop. That crop which is grown in the plantation is called plantation crop. So what is plantation, viewers? A large area is used, very huge, very large area is used to grow only single crop, and the entire land is called plantation. And the crop which is grown in that plantation area, it's called plantation crop. We have ideal example of tea estates. They have huge land. They are growing only one plant, that is tea, on the entire land, and they have tea processing unit also within their compound. So likewise, we have a number of plantation crops. So the plantation crops, they fall into the category of plantation agriculture. In this type of agriculture, single crop is raised on a large area. Such crops are not consumed as food. Students, pay attention to this point that these plantation crops are not used, they are not consumed as food, but are grown for sale in distant markets. And we have a large number of plantation crops also. You are well aware of tea, coffee, then rubber, coconut. They're also examples of plantation crops. So neither we are eating tea directly from the plant or eating coffee beans or rubber. So here what you have to remember with respect to plantation crops, that they are grown on huge areas called estates. And these crops, they are not grown for immediate human consumption. They are sold in the distant markets for getting profit. Next, an equally interesting classification is based on the season. So on the basis of season, we can divide our crops into monsoon crops and winter crops. Monsoon crops are called kharif crops and winter crops are called rabi crops. We have to study these two type of crops in little detail, but viewers, for extended learning, I must tell you that we have one more type of crop on the basis of season, and they are summer crops, and their name is Zat. And these three terms, Kharif, Zat, and Rabi, they are from Arabic origin. Kharif crops, They're also called as monsoon crops because they are grown in the rainy season or monsoon season, generally sown in June or July. They need lot of water and that requirement is met by monsoon. दैट्स वाई कहते हैं ना कि फार्मर जो है मॉनसून पे डिपेंडेंट है। अगर अच्छी बारिश होगी तो फसल अच्छी होगी, यही है लॉजिक। These crops are harvested in September or October, and the few examples of kharif crops are rice, corn, soybean, sugarcane, groundnut, and cotton. So these are few kharif crops. So let's see what all we have to learn in rabi crops. So rabi crops, they are grown in winter season. So they are also known as winter crops. So they are sown in October to December. Depending on the type of crop, they need comparatively less water. And they are harvested in March or April. We have a long list of rabi crops also, and few examples are here like wheat, oat, chickpea, mustard, almonds, broccoli. There are few examples of rabi crops. So viewers, we have learned about the types of crops on the basis of season, and here we came to know about kharif and rabi crops. So let's make a comparative account. For better understanding and proper clarification of these terms, let's go for a comparison. Kharif crops, they are sown in June and July, which is currently running. Rabi crops, they are sown in winter season, so either towards October to December. Kharif crops, because they are sown in rainy season, they are also called as monsoon crops. Rabi crops are known as winter crops. Kharif crops need hot weather and large amount of water to grow. On the other hand, Rabi crops, they need warm climate for seeds to germinate and cold climate for the crops to grow. Kharif crops, they are harvested in September to October. Rabi crops, they are harvested in March to April. Few examples of kharif crops are maize, rice, cotton, etc. Whereas pea, wheat, gram, etc. they come under the category of rabi crops. So this is the comparative account of crops based on season, and these are kharif crop and rabi crop. So viewers, what we have learnt in this video, let's have a glimpse of that. In this video, we came to know about the meaning of agriculture, its brief history and importance. We also came to know about the basic classification of crops, and we also learnt about the types of crops based on purpose as well as season in detail. So just to counter check what all we have learned in this video, you can go through this worksheet for self-assessment. It has 2 pages and I've included a variety of questions. But I want to give one more question to my budding explorers. And the question is, Rumana has sown seeds of crop A in her field. This crop needs less water for growth. Also, when it is harvested, Baisakhi is celebrated. Is this crop A paddy or wheat? So you have to find out the answer. I have given certain clues. With the help of those clues, you have to find out which is this crop paddy or wheat. And I want you to come up with the answer in the comment box after watching my video. And I want you to stay tuned to BioHub. Whenever you will tune to my channel next time, you will come across video on second part of this chapter, crop production and management. In that, I'm going to cover methods or steps of crop production. Dear students, if you are finding the content of this channel worth studying and clearing your doubts, then please do subscribe to it and stay tuned to it for more informative videos. So it's a bye from your facilitator. Stay tuned to my channel BioHub and feel free to share your suggestions to make it more student friendly. Looking forward to see you in my next video also. Till then, take care. Bye.